Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the House of Timmerman and Merry Christmas. We wanted to talk a little bit about nutrition today. We got New Year's coming up. I know a lot of people are going to try to up their game and try to start eating better. They want to start losing weight. We're going to give you some tips on how to maybe get started, how to cut through some of the BS, and kind of share a little bit of our experience with you guys. And Kate's been really focusing on that, putting more focus than she has in the past, and it's been paying off. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that and whatever else comes to mind. Oh yeah, my name is Dennis Timmerman, and this is my wife, Kate. If this is your first time joining us, thank you very much for checking out the podcast. We're a husband and wife just trying to make the most out of this life that we got and get better and better every day. Mentally, physically, you name it, we're just trying to grow and we're trying to take you guys on that journey. So, Kate, you want to add anything?
The dog got out of the kennel.
Sorry about the fix, guys. His nails are just so loud. Alright, so this episode's about nutrition. Merry Christmas from the House of Timmerman to you guys, and let's get going on this.
I hope you're cutting everything out.
What's up, guys? How's it going? We hope if you're watching this around Christmas, hopefully you're having a great holiday. Thank you so much for joining us today on the House of Timmerman. Nutrition. That is a tricky subject. There is so many different directions we could go in. We're going to try to keep a nice, even, straight path here. We're not going to try to jump off onto too many side topics like I'm very good at. That's kind of my thing.
You want to maybe touch on a little bit, because I'm not a professional by any means, but you maybe want to talk about your nutrition certification.
Sure. So I am Precision Nutrition certified as a nutrition. It's a health nutrition, kind of a sports / health nutrition certification. So Precision Nutrition was something that I've been getting information from for, I don't know, 4 years probably. I've been reading their articles and really learning a lot of stuff. And so when I decided that I wanted to kind of take my coaching to the next level, it was a no-brainer, because not only do they, I keep looking down at the bottle that they sent me. They sent me this for free just out of the blue. Anyways, so it's a nutrition certification, but it's very focused on, so the first half of it is the science. You got to learn about the way, cells are built and all your different energy systems, the muscles, all kinds of stuff. Like the technical stuff, the boring stuff, right? But the thing that really, I think, sets this apart and is the reason why I chose to go with that is because the second half of the cert is focused on the coaching. It's focused on the habits, the change in habits, and how to help people maybe make that transition easier, how to communicate more effectively so that you can just kind of get these kind of really simple principles into people's heads. And this kind of leads us into where I kind of wanted to start this. There's so much misinformation out there. Everything is, not everything. So many things are geared towards trying to trick you into thinking whatever it is you're reading or watching or whatever it is, this is it. Like, this thing works. So we went grocery shopping today, and we're going through the checkout line. They have all these, silly magazines in the checkout line. One of them was a woman's health, woman's fitness. I don't even know what the hell it is. It's one that's, I guarantee you it's a big one. I know I've seen them at a lot of stores, but the caption on the big letters on the front of the page were, diet for 7 days and lose up to 100 pounds by spring.
I'm reliving this. Like the lady at the register was like staring at you because you got so engaged and like livid when you were having this conversation with me, and it's happening all over
It's,
again.
like, it's just such bullshit the way things are being marketed to people. And here's the thing. You know what the little words underneath it said? You eat alkalinizing, alkalizing foods, and
Alkaline.
you do this for 7 days, and what that's going to do is that's going to reset everything. That's going to make losing 100 pounds fast, easy, and completely simple.
Just by doing it for 7 days.
7 fucking days is all it takes to reverse years of mistreatment, years of the wrong things. And if you have 100 pounds to lose, then there's been something that was off kilter in the way things have been going. So 7 days is all it takes.
Damn. Wish I would have known. I wouldn't have put in all that hard fucking work.
How am I even in business? Like, it's so easy. But the thing is, like, so first of all, I think that's been proven to be bullshit, first of all, just the whole alkaline thing. Like, I think the big part of that is like an alkaline food, a big part of that diet. You know what it is? Vegetables. Green leafy vegetables. It's not fucking magic. It's just food. It's just the food choices. Like, how about instead of making this big deal about this 7-day fast fix, hey, how about you eat vegetables and like lean meats and maybe like good healthy fats, none of that bullshit vegetable oil, but like eat just real foods. That's it.
I agree. Yeah. I mean,
It
100%.
doesn't, it's not about a secret. It's not about a fast fix. It's not about a magic bullet. It's not about hocus pocus. I made a post on Instagram. It's not fucking Santa Claus. Just do the good things over and over again. That's what it is.
And one of our first videos where we had like the magic pill, like we talked about this. We talked about
Clickbait.
the clickbait. The magic pill. Like there is no magic pill. There is no 7-day fix. There is no do this and you'll be fixed for forever. Like fucking even those shakes.
What about belly wraps?
Belly wraps?
Those work, right?
No. Sorry, they don't.
Damn.
Like shakes, like all of that stuff. Like there's good things I'm sure in like different types of shakes. I'm just thinking of like, I won't go in that. Anyways, we'll have a side conversation. Anyways,
We'll just edit that part out.
we're gonna edit that part out. But what I'm getting at is there's no quick fix. All it takes is consistency. Do the fucking work and do it continuously.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Stop looking for the easy fix. Stop looking for the 7-day fix. Guess what? If you have 100 pounds to lose, you have years to reverse. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't take 6 months. It takes fucking years. All right?
Legit.
Be patient.
Living it.
Trust the process. You have to work the plan for the plan to work. So you got to keep working that plan every day. And you got to stay on track with the things that you're doing. You're working out, your nutrition, drinking enough water, sleeping enough. It's really simple. It is, yes, it's simple. It's fast and easy and all that. But it's like, it's not magic. It's just consistency. That's it.
So I do feel like we kind of did end up chasing a rabbit down a rabbit hole and went
I told you.
a different direction. But we really do want to talk to you about nutrition. And
Yes.
we covered the consistency part of it. We covered that there's no quick fixes. But what is nutrition? Can you talk to me about that?
Okay, so what is nutrition? So I think, once again, it's been made so complicated. There's so many different diets. It's
Primal, paleo, gluten-free,
keto, vegan, carnivore, the carnivore diet. Like, there's so many things, zone, macros, so many things.
Yeah.
But if you look at all of those different things, I think that maybe besides macros, because then people kind of tend to just eat whatever the fuck as long as it matches their macros. But any diet that works, and every diet works, whether it be vegan, keto, paleo, uh, Weight Watchers. I don't know about that. Maybe not.
I'm sure to an extent.
Any
it
diet
does.
works, and then maybe sometimes it works until it doesn't, and then you have to adjust. But whatever. So what a lot of those diets all have in common are they have a big focus on eliminating processed foods and foods that have been literally engineered to get you to eat more. They trigger things off in the brain that makes you want to eat more, and this shit's created by scientists, not Mother Nature. All right, so I think it's really important to look at that fact. It's not necessarily about. So I'll go off on one little more side tangent because I think this kind of is a nice little tie into all this. So I had a client that's taken a little break for me for the holidays from my training because she had to get her finances in order. She had a couple bills come up and all that. So she had to take a little break from our training, but she was kind of struggling with nutrition in the past, and was just kind of trying to find her own groove that works for her, right? Well, she texted me the other day and she says that she wanted to start eating organic. And I didn't really go into anything else. I just wanted to look at where her thinking was behind this. So I simply asked, why? Why do you want to go organic? And she texts back that she wants to cut back on sugar. And so, for me, I obviously realized there that in our couple sessions that we did based on nutrition, I didn't communicate the whole basic point as far as it's not about eating the highest quality foods. That's something that we actually value. We spend a lot of money on groceries. We buy organic things, and we try to buy food that's less processed.
Sometimes it's a pain point.
Sometimes it is. But you don't have to do that. If that's not something that's on your radar, you don't have to do that. You could get conventional fruits, vegetables, meat, all that stuff, if that's where your budget is at. And it's all about getting the overall picture right. It's not about the tiny details. It's not about every single sentence in the story. It's about the whole story. You could eat good foods that maybe aren't organic. That's something that we value. It's not something that is necessary, though.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Sorry, I know you're telling a story, but
Oh.
I wanted to add that I think we as humans like to overcomplicate things. And for us, this has been a 4-year journey for us alone. And we started with our nutrition. We did a complete overhaul. We've tried primal. We've tried paleo. I've dived into keto. We've tried, Whole30. Those are all kind of very similar in a lot of different ways, but also very different. We've done fasting. I've done vegetarian. I've never committed to vegan, but I've done vegetarian. We've eliminated dairy. We've tried a bunch of different things to find what honestly works the best for us. And our eating habits don't necessarily work the same. Granted, male and female, different bodies, different body sizes, different body goals. That's going to be very consistent.
Different histories
as well.
Similar though. We both, ate a lot of fast food, a lot of bullshit in the past. And even for me, this journey has been 4 years for us, but I've been reading about this shit for 12 years now, not applying it. So, and I think that's where a lot of people fall as well, as you get so wrapped up in the information that it paralyzes you. It's like paralyzation by analyzation. So very common and it's very easy to do, especially now with so much info out there. It's confusing, and so much of it is contradictory of itself. You know what I'm saying? People are trying to lean you in one direction. There's so many agendas out there, right?
And what I just wanted to add is it doesn't have to be a complete overhaul overnight. You don't have to take point A to get to point Z and make it all happen in one sitting. You can take those baby steps. You can make those little changes along the way and learn and grow and experience and understand what works best for you and what works best for your body. You don't have to just do it all at once. And in the long run, that's going to be easier for you to accomplish and be easier for you to be consistent with, rather than making I'm doing this now, I'm going to change, and starting tomorrow, I'm eating this way only, and then to fall off in 7 days when it's no longer working for you, if you make it that long.
If you make it 7 days, you'll lose 100 pounds by spring.
That's why I did that. So that's all I wanted to add is it doesn't have to be immediate. You don't have to jump on that train right then and there, but if you make those small steps, if I've done where we didn't eat fast food for 30 days, we've done things like that. Or we didn't buy a certain thing, or what, today we tricked the kids and we got them a gluten-free crust pizza, and they loved it. They had no idea.
Which I also want to add, just because it says gluten-free, just because it says organic, does not mean it's healthy.
Yes.
So that was a good actually segue into the whole
story. Okay.
Do I need to eat organic in order to be healthy? And
So maybe I went down my own rabbit hole.
Good job.
I know.
The one that doesn't like to go down rabbit holes.
Anyways,
so that maybe was a lot of ranting, but you might not still have a whole lot of practical information to take away from that. So yeah, obviously eat less processed foods, blah, blah, blah. You've been saying that every episode, dumbass. What the hell? I think we should share a little bit about what we've been experimenting with going into the holidays, where a lot of people are struggling with their nutrition. We've actually been trying to get more dialed, and we've actually started tracking more. Really trying to get dialed in with how we're tracking and what we're, the reason why that's valuable is because that paints the picture of what you're doing right now. That's how I start every nutrition client that I work with. I don't want people to make a big drastic change at first. I want to see what they've been doing over the last, month, 6 months, year, 6 years. Let's figure out where we're actually coming from, because then we know what we need to adjust. I can't tell you what to do if I don't know what you're doing right now. I could say a whole bunch of things, but it probably isn't going to make any sense to you. So we really have to find out our starting point. If you go watch my vlog, I'm really going deep on that. So we're not going to go too deep on that. But as far as nutrition goes, it's super easy. Write down what you eat every day. Write down how much of it you're eating. You could go the paper and pen route. MyFitnessPal is what we've been using. It's a free app. You could get the premium version. We're just using the free version. You don't need any extra bells and whistles, okay? Paint that picture of where you're at. Really inform yourself. Accept the fact of what you're doing. Don't log all the good shit and then leave the candy bars off. That does not serve you. You're lying to yourself. You're living in denial when you're doing that, and you're not making any progress to do that, okay? So really get focused on what you're doing, not what you need to do. Look at what you're doing right now, because that's going to tell you the changes that you need to make in order to get towards your goals. It's super important to have goals, but they don't mean anything if you don't know how to build up to those goals. You need your starting point, so you could find, like you said, your point B, point D, point C, point D. You don't go from point A to point Z. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. And it's also important to note that if you find a diet that works for you, do not fall into into the trap of thinking that's the only diet that works. And don't fall into the trap that that's what you need to do for the rest of your life. Because sometimes a diet that works will stop working. You have to accept that and be ready to make adjustments. You know what I mean? You have to be able to pivot. You can't get locked into one thing. We're right on time. Woo! So I was talking to one of the guys at the gym last night, and we started talking about dogmas and falling into the trap of accepting a dogma and never accepting anything else. You can get pigeonholed into something that is good up to a certain point, and then it's not as good. You have to always be willing to take a different perspective and make adjustments based on where you're at the moment. So with diet, that could be adjusting calories, adjusting macros, eating, more or less, different times. There's all kinds of different adjustments to make, but it's very important to know that as you make progress, you're going to also have to make adjustments to the plan. Okay? And Kate needs to talk about what she's been doing because I think it's really valuable because as somebody who's been on this journey, who's lost a ton of weight and then kind of had a little plateau moment, that's something that's very common. And that could be very, very difficult for people to deal with. A lot of times they start losing control, losing belief in themselves, and they start going backwards when they hit that plateau. Kate pivoted. She made adjustments. She realized what she was doing wasn't working anymore, and it's time to get a little bit more clear on what she was doing. And so, Kate, what have you been doing?
Well, I actually planned for that plateau, and I'll get into that a little
Smart.
bit. So from the very beginning, when we first started, I was over 300 pounds. So weight loss actually was very easy for me in the very beginning with those step to step to step changes. I didn't take point A to point Z. I didn't go from point A to where I am now overnight, but I made those slight changes. And that actually, because I was so overweight, was, not easy in the moment because everything was fucking difficult then. But in retrospect, that weight actually fell off within that first year. I lost 100 pounds in the first year just by changing my diet. And I went from
That wasn't 7 days?
That was in 7 days. It actually took me a whole year. But I was like 322 pounds. I had weight to lose. With that being said, I was primal, I was paleo, I did Whole30, I attempted keto, I didn't really like it. And then I found something that worked for me, and it's actually quite funny. We dabbled a little bit in fasting. And fasting in general isn't really supposed to, or they say it's not really supposed to be that effective for women, but I liked it. I felt the most comfortable in it, and I did that while watching my carbs. I didn't really focus on my protein or my fats at that time, but I kind of watched my carbs a little bit. Kind of gathered from the keto part of it, the primal part of it. I wanted to keep my carbs low because I did know that if I kept my carbs low, I didn't have so much brain fog. So I did fasting. I would basically in the very beginning only eat dinner. So I would go 16 plus hours with fasting. As weight started to fall off, over a course of maybe about a year, I started to eat maybe a lunch and a dinner. And then recently I've been at 150-pound weight loss for a good 6 months, I would say. But I planned for this. I planned along the way. Each step I took, I allowed my body to rest and adjust. And it's not that my diet changed. It's not that my workouts changed. I just expected that my body would need a few months. And this is actually the first and the longest time it's taken, but I expected that my body would need time to adjust to its weight loss. And I think that's important. Mm-hmm. So that way you're not like yo-yoing. Like I've never once gained back what I've lost, from day to day, yes, my body weighs
Like a
different.
few pounds maybe, but I mean, like you're not like dropping 20 pounds, going back up 15, dropping
Never.
25, going, you're not yo-yoing. It's there's natural fluctuations that happen.
From day to day, from week to week, absolutely, yes, that's what I was getting into.
Sorry.
That's okay, but I've never, like you had said, lost the 20, gained 15, lost that 20 again. I've never done that, and I think that that's been important for my body. With that being said, I've come to the realization that fasting is probably no longer working for me, in the sense that I'm not getting enough calories and other nutrients at this time. So, Dennis, being my trainer and also being my nutrition coach, thank you, looked at my goals, looked at my weight, looked at what I needed to be eating, and we calculated new macros for me. And with my Fitness Pal, I'm able to customize my goals. And now my goals are to get a shit ton of more protein, because I was never tracking protein before, and I'm actually not a meat eater. Like, I've never really, I was a vegetarian for a year. It didn't really work for me because I do still like, some meat, but I just don't enjoy eating meat every day. But I found a protein shake that works for me. Amazing Grass protein. Thank you very much. You guys rock. It's a plant-based protein. That it works for me because I don't do dairy very often, and meat it doesn't really work for me. So this is a plant-based protein that works for me. Keep my fat. I feel like I still get a decent amount of fats, and my carbs are still around what I'm normal to or what I'm used to, and that's okay with me. So I'm getting to track a little differently. And for the last 2 weeks, we've been doing this. And with these changes, I've actually dropped 5 pounds, which is probably a lot for my body right now. But
Not to be expected.
It's
like
not, yeah.
normal to drop, and that's gonna normalize. It's gonna balance out. She's gonna hit that another, kind of neutralizing zone to where the weight loss will slow down or stop altogether for a little bit. Your body wants to find balance. So a huge weight loss right away, your body freaks out a little bit. It doesn't know what to do. It goes into shock a little bit. So a lot of those plateaus are just kind of your body saying, "Hold on, let's just figure this out. What's going on here? Like, I'm used to that, and now I got this happening. So is this going to be okay? Can I let go of this weight, or should I hold on to it for later?"
Yeah.
You know.
My body's very comfortable with the weight it's at right now, and that's okay. I'm very comfortable with where I'm at right now, but I still would like to see, what a little bit less looks like. I still would like to, my journey's never going to be over. I still would like to see what I am able to do and what I'm capable of in my body and what my body's able to do.
And I think it's important to note, too, she doesn't just want to keep losing weight. She's
No.
also looking at building some muscle. She wants to keep getting stronger. She's been using the barbell quite a bit more the last probably 3 months or so, and liking it, getting good progress. And I think that is another thing that's boosting that loss even more, even though the last couple of weeks we haven't done it as much.
No, I've been pretty kettlebell driven the last couple of weeks.
So yeah, interesting. But it all started with adjusting, being aware that what she was doing wasn't working, accepting it and saying, "Okay, what do we do?" Not just keep fucking banging your head against the wall over and over without it working. You got to make adjustments. I think we're out of time. I got to do this.
Like, just about.
I still have a minute. All right, so this is getting a little long, guys, and I think we could really sum it up. It's really easy to sum up if you are struggling with the holidays, if you're struggling with your weight or health overall in general. I seen a good quote the other day. It went something along the lines of, if you see a lot of people complaining about the holidays and all that, struggling through the holidays, those people were most likely struggling in August too. Like, it's not the holidays' fault. There's a lot of bullshit floating around. You're not going to get fat over the holidays. Okay? It's 2 months out of the year. All right? You have to have your habits in place.
Yeah.
That's all it is. The holidays don't make you fat. Your lack of self-discipline is going to be what's making you fat. Okay? So be aware. It's not the holidays' fault. Okay?
I do find that actually really funny because I feel like we can prove that a little bit because you should seriously see the stack of cookies and sweets and candy that we have hidden over in the corner there that have been sitting there for weeks because we purposely have habits built that we're not indulging in this sugar and crap. Like, don't get me wrong, it tastes good. Maybe not anymore because it's been sitting there for so long, but we have habits in place so that we're not overindulging. Like, yes, we can indulge and maybe have one cookie or, but it's not an every night thing.
Stop it at 1, too.
Stop it at 1.
You don't have to have 10 just because you had 1.
No. And it doesn't have to be an every night thing. And it doesn't have to be, something that you only get because this happened or, like that's another thing. Like, don't indulge because of a bad day, for an example. Like, don't feed your emotions. But if you want it, like, have one, but stop yourself.
I think overall, don't look at like sweets. Don't look at that as a reward. Just because you've been on your diet for 7 days does not mean that you earned a cookie. Just because you got a workout in does not mean that you earned a cookie. If you want to eat a cookie, eat it, enjoy it, move on. All right?
Yep.
It's not a reward for doing something. It's actually fucking you up. So if it's that important to you, eat it, enjoy it, move on. All right? It's don't treat it like a prize though, because that mindset, that way of thinking is going to fuck you up pretty much. Right?
I'm gonna fuck you. Sorry, I wanted to sing a song.
Anything else?
I feel like we did a lot of rambling. I feel like we did a lot of, down the rabbit holes, but...
We said we weren't going to do that.
We said we weren't.
I said I wasn't going to do it, and I did it.
But, I feel like there is really good information in here. If it touches you, if it catches you, if anything sparks interest for you, please ask us questions in the comments. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, let us know. This is something that's near and dear to us, and it's something that we're continuously going through. It's something that we're continuously trying to find what works best for us. We're also incorporating it for our kids. We want them to live a better life than what we grew up living. Not that we had a bad life by any means, It
was just a knowledge issue. Yeah. That's all it was. It was a culture issue, really. The culture that our parents grew up in had nutrition all fucked up. We're just coming out of the dark ages here. We now have access to a lot of really, really good information that's been being worked on for a long time. So people are really smart.
So we're trying to provide that information to our kids and let them grow up with it, and and try to teach them. So it's something that we're continuously going through ourselves. So if by any means you're interested, you want to know more, please let us know. Gives us a little bit of direction of what interests you guys and what we can put more content out for you guys as well. Because that's what we're doing. We want to share as much as we can of ourselves to help as much of you as we can.
Hell yeah.
Fucking yeah.
It's so near and dear to our hearts that when I see this bullshit in the grocery store, in a public place, very crowded, holiday shoppers, I can't even contain myself. I get so upset. God damn it, stop feeding people these bullshit.
I can't take him anywhere, seriously.
I'm easily excitable, sorry. All right, do we have anything else? You guys stay right there. I'm going to be right back, all right? Just check this shit out.
I think he's grabbing the cookies.
I ain't gonna get the one you got for the holiday party, but like we got all this stuff This has been sitting on our counter for a week. We threw other stuff away last week because we couldn't hold on to all this stuff. But the way I see it is, hey, if we have this here, nobody else is eating it, right?
You did say that. He did say that the other day. I'm like, what? We should probably do something with all of this. And he's like, well, if we have it here, no one else is eating it. So, I mean, there's more in the pantry too. It's
So,
ridiculous.
show a little self-control, show a little self-discipline, and I promise you, if you choose the orange instead of the cookie, good things are gonna happen.
Orange,
What's up, Lyndon?
orange or cookie?
Bump.
Eat the orange first, and then decide if you still need the cookie.
You need a cookie every day.
Hey!
Lyndon, what's ranch? What's ranch made out of?
You can say
Bull cat.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.
it.